Hello there, members first, and then that's part of your bonus is I'm releasing this to you on the day of the new moon in Cancer on July 14th, and then I will release it to the general public probably late tomorrow. But thank you. This is part of my offering to you to say thanks for being a member of the channel. I truly appreciate your support. It keeps me in all of these different decks that I use for readings like this. So thank you again. So today, it's the usual. If you've been here before when I do these readings, the pick a card readings for the new and full moons. So today I've got the three stacks in front of me. I have crystals that Spirit led me to give you some inspiration around which stack might hold a message for you. And you could get more than one message. You could be drawn to two piles or even all three and get messages. So just go with the flow, go with, what, however your energy is leading you. But let's go ahead and get right in. This will be pile number one, and it will be if you're drawn to this beautiful raw piece of blue kyanite. All right, pile number one, blue kyanite. Pile number two, this is a quartz, and I'm thinking it's carnelian inside of it. That's how it feels. I want to flip it around so you can see it's just got this beautiful orange kind of inclusion in it. Really, really beautiful, and it's hefty too. So I'm going to call it a carnelian quartz, pile number two. And pile number three, I also have sort of a mysterious quartz. It's like a ghost quartz. It is clear, but it also has these incredible inclusions in it. So I'm going to call it a ghost quartz. I might be wrong for my technical folks out there, but if you're feeling the vibe, there you have it. All right, that'll be pile number three. So let's get ready to get into it and see what Spirit has for you, messages in terms of what you can expect and what your spirit guides want to come through with, and your higher self may want to come through with. Messages related to this new moon in Cancer, especially during this month in July where so much energy is happening right now, right? Globally, locally, and certainly within us when it comes to that watery Cancerian energy. So let's dig in. I can't wait to see what comes for you today. Let me put pile number three and pile number two to the side for now. And let's get ready to go in. And again, if you haven't been with me before when I do these, Spirit directs me to my tarot closet. I probably got over 200 decks in there. They tell me which decks to pull, and but I don't see any of these cards until I get ready to do the taping for you all. So I'm always excited and interested to see what comes as well. So again, for those of you who chose this blue kyanite, pile number one, new moon in Cancer. Let's see what your message is. You are starting out with the Three of Pentacles. They call it coins. Three of Pentacles. So there's some practical work that's being done. The Knight of Swords comes with that. So some of you could be during this Cancer new moon thinking about or already in the process of working, perhaps even collaboratively, on something that requires communication, writing, data, things in the workplace where you have to have meetings, etc. But this is something in a group effort. You've got the Hangman that shows up. So it could be that you're evaluating something that you may do with a group in relation to getting the word out. This could also be if you're in business for yourself or thinking about a business for yourself or a project where you're considering which way to proceed with it, because it is going to require some sort of collaborative help. It could be that you get advice from friends or others who could help you in the endeavor. So the important thing I'm feeling here so far for you, pile number one, is the need to communicate your ideas, your needs, especially if it is calling you to reach out to others, to communicate that to others. And Eight of Pentacles comes. So that's another highly skilled, like mastering your craft and mastering what you do. So there is definitely for you all, if you chose this stack, it is definitely about something that you are working on that does require a little bit of a balancing act between what you dream, in that Neptune kind of energy, what you want to dream and bring into existence, because of the work that you either already have done or and the skills that you've gained to do it. Hold on, I hear that doggone air conditioner coming on. Let me get rid of it. All right, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to do it in time before I started taping. It gets me a little warm in here, but that interference in the sound, I can't stand it, so I don't want to put you through it. Okay, so there's work that you're doing or something that you have really applied yourself and you feel pretty skilled, but it also could be that you're looking to boost your skills. That could be taking a pause because you want to get better at something that you're doing, and it's going to require classes, collaboration, meetings with others. There's something where there's a group effort that helps you move it along. Okay, let's go further now into you. That's your four tarot. Now we're going to get into your oracles. So you've got Archangel Raziel that comes, inspiration, mysteries, and Akashic records. There is, you know what, I love that that came for you all, actually, because with the Hangman ruled by Neptune, so again, dreaming what you're doing, what your next steps are, how you want to improve your skills and your energies. And this Archangel Raziel is saying, it is about being inspired. And I think that's why you got that group, that Three of Pentacles with that emphasis on a group, because where do we often get our inspiration, right? Through our friends and our colleagues and others who are interested in the same types of things. So, and this is saying the mystery. So this could even be very much with the Hangman in there, spiritual development and ramping up. And if you were tied if you were drawn to the Kyanite, which is deeply spiritual and sort of that higher chakra energy, so there is that desire that some of you may have and feel right now to really boost your skills. You're ready to take it to the next level in that Knight of Swords. And it just means, reaching out and using your networks or building a network. There is surrender that comes for you. And that's really a cool reinforcement, if you will, of that hangman energy as well, because we know very often when the hangman comes, it is about surrender. It is about pausing to just look at things a different way and surrender yourself to the experience that spirit and your higher self is trying to give you. Don't worry about having a blueprint like, A plus B is going to take me to C. This could very well be in this new moon in Cancer. Go with the flow, right? Cancer being a very that watery sign and very connected to the moon. So this could be spirit is saying, hey, with that moon energy, this may be, hey, let it come to you. Surrender to the experience that you're having. Surrender to the dreams that you may be having to get that inspiration that spirit is giving you or wants to bring to you. And it'll come together. It will boost your knowing and your confidence in whatever endeavor you're trying to do. And I keep going back to that Knight of Swords. So it could be something that you want to write, express, share, even just building friendships. I'm hearing for some of you, being around people who share your spiritual values, especially, because these are really deep spiritual cards. So people who share your spiritual values and people who are curious about things and building their skills, really opportune time for you to do that. And lo and behold, if you don't get Scorpio, that comes for you. A fellow water sign, but also in the eighth house, very tied to deeper mysteries, research, being ready to like really dig into something deeper, talking about that mysteries and the inspiration and the Akashic records. This is a journey that this new moon in Cancer is taking you all on, pile number one. And the key is you don't have to, Google map the journey. This really is like, so just open up and say, I'm here for it. Hangman, take a pause. I'm here for it, spirit. Bring me the people, the circumstances that are going to help me advance at this time. And you've got the second house that comes for you astrologically. We know the second house is about our money, but also about our values, what we really, really value. And so it's important for you, this new moon in Cancer, Cancer also being really tied to families and the mother, right? The fourth house, that mothering energy. It's really important for you to work with people, be around people, seek out people, or allow people who will come into your life that reinforce or somehow help shape your values, what really matters to you at this time. And it also could explain why that Scorpio energy came for you, because Scorpio digs deep and it wants the truth. It doesn't do things on a superficial level. So there could be a drive that some of you are feeling right now to really get to the root of what inspires you, what makes sense of your life, those Akashic records. Why are you here? What is your legacy? Second house, what you value, and your material concerns. There's an assessment that you're doing right now, and Spirit says, cool. I'm with you along that ride. Just surrender to it. You have, and here comes another confirmation. You have introspection that comes. And that, if that isn't tied to that hangman energy and that surrender card that you got, right? So really, for you all, as these cards come up and are taking shape, there's a clear pattern here. This is a time to chill. This is a time to dream. This is a time to express your desires to spirit and to allow and be alert to when things or people inspire you because they reflect your values. All right? You've got scattered energy. Aha. So you have too much on your plate and have lost your focus. This is causing you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Prioritize your well being and create a new plan. Surrender, right? Talk about another, another caution and an encouragement from spirit. Surrender. Because for some of you, it is your energy's been a little scattered. Perhaps because you have been trying too hard. Perhaps because you have been seeking answers for all the right reasons, but seeking answers. And then if they haven't come the way you thought or hoped, that can feel a little frustrating, and then that scatters your energy. So this surrender is what brings you back into balance and into focus. Okay, you have tighten and release. This is a body remedy. So this is speaking to, I feel like for some reason they just showed me Kegel exercises. I don't know why. But I'm also getting like there's something where physically in your body you learn how to release and surrender by acknowledging the tightness, acknowledging being scattered, acknowledging the feeling of wanting and desire, but then releasing it. Just absolutely, and doing that physically within your body. So that could be a call to exercising, that could be a call to breathing exercises, that could be a call to something where you apply pressure and then let it go. What if that could even be yoga, some sort of yoga movement where it challenges you to hold a pose for a bit and then you let it go. There's something in that release that builds that sense of surrender. And look at what comes next. Wow, if this doesn't tie into everything we've got here, look at that. Pile number 1, pursue your dream. Hangman, Neptune, pursue your dream. That's a direct message from your higher selves and your spirit guides. And it says, have faith in your intuition. Just whatever it could feel. I'm getting an impression that for some of you, you're skeptics. For some of you, you could tend to have a big idea or have a big dream or really feel like you're operating in your faith sometimes. And then reality creeps in, right? The day-to-day stuff, or it takes a while and you get distracted, that scattered energy. And so the dreams just kind of start to feel more kind of out there. get pushed further out there. But Spirit is saying, pursue it. Don't think of it as how much time is it going to take, or will I have the support that I need, that 3 of Pentacles. Am I on track? That self-doubt and questioning that we can do, that's what that introspection is for. Because Spirit's saying, no, there is no dream that's too big. In fact, that's what we want you to do in this Cancerian energy, and a new moon at that. Pursue your dream, all right? You've got redemption that comes, hope, a miracle, and a turning point. So there is something truly new for you on the horizon through this new moon in Cancer, pile number 1. And redemption even feels to me a little like you could be revisiting something that you had previously thought about doing, or a project that you had considered. You could be on the verge of going back to that. And there's something, hope, miracle, and a turning point. There's something that comes to you or comes towards you that reinforces and reignites your inspiration to do it. All right. You have a prosperous estate that speaks. And it says your prosperity is no longer just an idea. It seeks to take shape in the form of real estate and tangible assets. Notice you had that second house that came up for you, pile number 1, what you value, your money. So it says your prosperity may take shape in the form of real estate or tangible assets. Be open to grounding your abundance into physical reality through the acquisition of land or property. All right. So that it can be physical real estate. It could be other things that you value. I just heard heirlooms for some of you, or vintage things that increase in value over time. But if that is something that you have considered, that you've dreamt about doing, that you've had an interest in doing, for some of you, this could even be getting your real estate license. Skills in that 8 of Pentacles. It could be getting a real estate license, or somehow, getting involved in actual tangible assets. That's perfect. This is absolutely a fortuitous time for you to do that, okay? And your final card is a stone. It's, well, actually for you it came up as a planet, Venus, in your sacral chakra. So focus. I don't know what you're in your astrology, where your Venus is. Look it up if you don't know, because it's coming up for you. But Venus is very strong for you right now. And Venus also ruling Taurus, the second house. So again, this is about what makes you feel comfortable, what you value, your material possessions, what you own, taking care of what you own, or positioning yourself for more acquisitions. And in the sacral chakra, that is about dreaming it into being. Like the womb is the seat of creation. It is that you are creating a space where, in this new moon in Cancer, where something that you have wanted to pursue your dream, starts to really gestate and grow and get ready to take shape. And you don't have to do any particular thing to get it to go. In this whole thing, now that I've got all the cards for you, Spirit is saying it's in motion. Just surrender to it. Dream about it. Don't discount in your dreams, in your thoughts, in like going bigger than big, right? Go big or go home. Hope and a miracle and a turning point. There you have it. Dream it into being. Take care of your sacral chakra. All right? All right, pile number 1. That was really awesome. I love the way the cards threaded together for your reading and gave you that message. Super powerful time. And really, really tied to Cancerian energy. All right, let me put those over to the side. And let's go for pile number 2. Those of you who were drawn to the... this thing is so heavy, I can't hardly get it off the cards. 2 were drawn to the quartz crystal with that. I do believe it's carnelian inside there. The quartz with the carnelian, pile number 2. Let's see what Spirit has. You have a 10 of swords. All right, so off the bat, maybe a little tired, a little overworked up, time to chill out a little bit. Ace of Pentacles. It's time for a reset, a refresh. This feels like in your body, as well as There could be concerns around money for you if you chose this pile, concerns around new sources of money because of that Ace of Pentacles and combined with that Ten of Swords. So some of you could be a little focused right now on generating income or generating something that brings you a sense of stability. You have, they call it emergence here, but this is judgment. So that sometimes they call, emergence, coming out of a period of worry, emerging from a period of worry. Notice even those butterfly wings. So a transformative time that you do get a chance to have a reset, pile number two. And also keeping in mind that very often when you get judgment, it is because it's ruled by Pluto. So there's a change that you've undergone. Like there's something that you had to withstand that has shifted your perspective. You have an awareness now that you didn't have before. And specifically, it might be in relation to your health or your money. Very often, those are the two things that come up very strongly when we get pentacles. Okay. So there's some lessons that you've learned. There's some, and it may have been tough lessons in that Ten of Swords energy, right? There's some lessons that you've learned about your resources, but it's a rebirth. It's an emergence from that. And you have generosity of water, which is basically the Queen of Cups. Which, how lovely for that to come for you in new moon and Cancer energy. So you're being supported by, this could be, some of you could be a water sign, but there's something where what nurtures you, what takes care of you, your finances, your body, your health, it is undergoing some sort of resurgence or re-emergence. Okay, there's self-doubt, feelings of inadequacy that come up. That happened because of that ten of swords. Some of you really got in your head, or other people got in your head, circumstances got in your head, and it led you to feeling like, I'm not so sure, I don't even know how to start again. I don't know where I'm going from here. And but those feelings of inadequacy are also what you're coming out of. There's a second chances here. There's being emerging from that. All right. You have extremes that come here. A hot moon. The extremes also takes me back to that Ten of Swords, where your emotions may have run really hot. And this could have been in the form of anger. This could have also been in the form of passion. I'm drawn to this figure on here where, a little sweaty back, who knows what all is going on there, right? This could be where some of you are emerging out of a breakup. I'm looking at that feelings of inadequacy. And this could be going way back, I'm seeing for some of you, that self-doubt. So this could be wanting a relationship, wanting a second chance, wanting a fresh start. But that self-doubt is what's prevented it, like the worries, that lingering Ten of Swords energy. But it's over. Reemergence. It's over. There is no reason to hold yourself back. Spirit wants you to feel the feelings. Your spirit guides, your higher self, they want you to feel the feelings and prepare yourself for another journey toward being with someone, or reigniting your current relationship if it's lost a little bit of its spark, and if you're not feeling completely confident in your place in it. And again, that's where that Queen of Cups comes in, because it's like pouring into yourself, feeding into yourself, so you can get your groove back, right? You've got Aquarius that comes, and it says, think outside the box, cultivate a willingness to see things in a brand new way. There you have it. So talking about that, this in relation to that judgment, reemergence that we saw, Aquarius, it is about taking a chance, looking at things a different way, thinking outside the box. Aquarius being can be sometimes really a little rebellious and kind of on the edge, a little edgy in its approach to things. This is a great time for that, is what Spirit is saying. And you also have the 12th house that comes up for you, pile number 2. So this is about some desire. This new moon in Cancer is really going to bring to the surface, is what I'm hearing, some desire that you have. And it's like you're returning to it. It's not something new. It feels like something that you went through a process for. Again, whether this was in a relationship, a divorce, a breakup, I'm hearing cheating for some of you. And it even could be where you were tempted to cheat or did cheat because of feelings of inadequacy. So whatever that is, there's no quote unquote judgment in that. And we've got judgment here on the table. There's no judgment from Spirit from you for you on that. It's more about a reevaluation of starting again in that Ace of Pentacles. How do you start again? How do you hit the reset? All right. You've got a recklessness here, but notice that butterfly on top. So there's that transformation again. So some of you, I'm kind of getting a vibe here again of relationships. Some of you may have felt you were a little reckless in your decision making, because that would feed into self-doubt. That would feed into that 10 of Swords energy. So some of you may have felt like you're beating yourself up a little bit because you've made some decisions in the past that turned out to feel a little reckless in hindsight, because judgment is always giving you lessons learned in hindsight, right? So that's a part of what fed the self-doubt. But you're moving into this Aquarius energy. You're moving into rediscovering and this new momentum that's coming for you. All right. You've got expand here. And it says you're being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities. And staying safe in the known is no longer working for you. It's time to make your world just a little bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and go for them. Isn't that a beautiful confirmation of what your cards have said so far? Right? Second chances in that judgment. Walking away from worrying and self-doubt about your choices or your ability to make good choices from the past. It's time to get ready and expand and go for it. Allow yourself, trust yourself. You've got spoken words that come up. So it could be that you journal, that you be very conscious and aware during this new moon in Cancer of expressing your desires honestly, openly, and without judgment. No form of judgment towards yourself. And to the extent that you have an opportunity to talk to someone or talk to your friends about it, about your desires, be careful with your choice of words. Be mindful of your choice of words. Do not speak in terms of past mistakes made or transgressions done, against you or toward you. No, be very mindful of the framework that you put your words, especially during the new moon in Cancer. Redirect the fire. Transform anger into creative power. Okay. So I'm very tied to getting this on the heels of that extremes, that hot moon energy, even the color schemes there going together, right? Redirect it. Some of you may be feeling still some lingering anger, either at yourself or at another person or the circumstances, family, whatever. But Spirit is saying use that and transform it into something that helps you expand, helps you open up and expand for the opportunities. Also noticing that you were drawn to this crystal with that carnelian, that warm energy inside of it. So there is some heat definitely beneath your surface right now, but Spirit is saying you get to choose how to use it and to come out of what may feel like anger toward it, because that's only feeding the self-doubt and feelings of inadequacy. That's not getting you anywhere. You want to go and rise out of that so that you can pursue and expand. All right? Courage. Why am I not surprised to see this come for you? bravery, adventure, fatal, and brilliant. I don't know about fatal there. I would say perhaps fated. But look, you're moving towards something. And it takes courage. It's going to take courage for you to give it another shot. Basically is what spirit is saying. It's going to take courage to give it another shot. There's a transformational thing happening with you, but it goes back to that Ace of Pentacles. It's like ground zero, getting back to ground zero, getting back to relaunching you version 2.0, 3.0, 5.0, doesn't matter. It's just about the relaunch, okay? It's just about the relaunch. You have uniquely gifted. You are uniquely gifted, possessing abilities and strengths that are perfectly designed to fulfill your soul's purpose. Nurture your talents, Queen of Cups, nurture your talents and use them to create the impact only you can make. So this is the work that Spirit is saying for you to do in your heart space. And I noticed that that's coming in all that green, beautiful heart chakra energy. So the way that you get to this expansion is to recognize your gifts. Don't even continue to focus on you in relation to another or your desire for a relationship with another. Begin to really see yourself as being uniquely gifted and what you have to offer, what you've learned, the lessons you've learned, the maturity that you've gained, your ability to nurture a new relationship in a solid way, the person that you are becoming. That's how you work through that energy. And lo and behold, if this isn't really beautiful how this worked. Look, you got this beautiful green chakra energy, uniquely gifted, and then your final card, which is a crystal to recommend, comes in that green. So definitely heart chakra work for you all, and blessings, I should say, for you all. And this is peridot. That's beautiful. So peridot. All right, peridot is a stone that will help you during this time. All right, pile number 2. It's a rebirth for you, but it's almost it's not a spiritual rebirth so much as as an emotional one, as one that really requires you to take a different approach to your anger. Remember, you got that anger. A different approach to your anger, transmuting the anger, and transmuting for sure in those spoken words the stories that you tell yourself about the past. All right. All right, moving on to pile number 3. Those of you who were drawn to the quartz crystal, I call it a ghost crystal because it's got those beautiful inclusions in it. Let's see what your cards say for this new moon in Cancer. All right, we have the Princess of Pentacles that comes up. Some new feeling or endeavor with the Hangman. Waiting for a new feeling, waiting for something to take root. We have the 8 of Swords. So the reason you're waiting is because there may be a little internalized fear around it with the 7 of Cups. I get it. So the internalized fear is around you not trusting yourself to make the right choices right now. This looks with your 4 tarot, and I do 4 tarot to open up each reading. So here, this combination is telling me that you're ready for something new, but you want to take it slow. Pentacles moves slow. It wants to know it can trust what's being built. And so the Hangman says, okay, chill out. You're chilling out. You're surrendering. You're thinking and taking time. You're not being hasty, but also because you need time to evaluate your choices. And there may be a little fear around making the wrong choice. So that's what's got you holding up. So let's see what your oracles say. Leadership, a person of authority. Is there something that you want to launch or do, or someone that you're dealing with? A boss, a spouse, a family member, someone that you hold in a certain level of esteem and has a leadership, or again, this could very well be you ready to launch, but something you've got some choices that you're still making around it. And so that's what's sitting in your way a little bit right now. You've got resilience that comes. All right. And look at that pile on the back. So this in combination with this authority tells me that for some of you, there's there's a fear of taking on too much, or you not even a fear, like that could be a reality that some of you have lived where you have taken on too much from others and you're ready to lighten it up and go in a different way. You're trying to make a choice. Some of you, this is in relation to a job or a relationship that you are feeling like you've taken on so much in it that you want to reset. You need a little bit of it lightened up, and you're just trying to figure out how to go about that. Let's see if we can't get some more clarity around that. Sure enough, here comes the moon, and it says open up your senses so you can take in beauty. Take in beauty, magic, and invisible currents of intuitive information. So Spirit is saying this is really beautiful for you all to get pile number 3 in a new moon in Cancer, of all things, ruled by the moon. Cancer ruled by the moon. This new moon is offering you a chance to lighten up, literally lighten up, and get into your feelings. Stop doing and start feeling. Stop thinking, overthinking choices that kind of get you wound up mentally, right? Stop thinking about how you want this new endeavor, new relationship, new situation, and start feeling, what would it feel like if you had it? What would it feel like if things worked out the way you wanted them to? What would this relationship, or this choice or this decision feel like if it absolutely went according to plan or perfectly? That's the mindset that Spirit is saying for you to get in. And you've got the waning gibbons astrologically. So this is something that's ready. This energy pattern is ready to move out. Pile number 3. It's like it is literally diminishing. The hold that some of this has had on you, that's caused some of the fear, that's caused you to go around and around in what your choices might be, especially relative to a job, relative to a person, or relative to your role and what you are willing to take on. Spirit is saying let it go. And that's a beautiful counterpart even to the Hangman, which is about surrender. So waning energy goes out. It's about what's diminishing, what's being let go of. And I also get that pay attention to the moon cycles this month, because as the moon wanes and goes out after it goes full, that's going to be a very powerful time for you to surrender. All right? You've got the Black Madonna that comes up. Wow, this card doesn't come up very often, so this is definitely meant for you. You've got the Black Madonna. You are cared for and nurtured, but sometimes in ways that that you may not understand. You're remembering new moon in Cancer. Cancer is the divine mother. So, and about mothering and motherhood. So the mother is coming up to take care of you. And I think for some of you, with that taking on so much in the leadership, there could be a real call to just some quality self-care, and or allowing others to care for you. What is good for you? What feeds your emotional self? New moon in Cancer. What feeds your emotions? Not just feeds your thinking, your finances, your desires, your career, your ambitions, your goals, your relationships, but what feeds your heart? What feeds your intuition? And so the Black Madonna comes up to say, let me help you learn how to do that. You do well. If you're not familiar, look up the Black Madonna and the meanings around that. That might be something that pings you, okay? There is deception that comes up. No wonder you're making choices. And it says you're not seeing the entire picture of a person or situation. It may be purposefully withheld from you, or you may be choosing to look the other way or betray yourself in some way. It's time to gain clarity. So, if this is in relation to a person for whom you carry added weight, And again, this could be even a family member. It could be a child. It could be a coworker. It could be a boss. It could be a spouse or a lover. There's someone that you're carrying that extra weight. It's stressing you out a little bit, but Spirit is saying it is deception. It's self-deception, that something maybe you feel like you have a responsibility to do it. That's why it says resilience here, because you've almost trained yourself to take more on, feeling like I do this out of respect or love or duty or responsibility to a person or a situation. And Spirit is like, you might want to reconsider that. Hangman, you might want to reconsider that, okay? You have gala days. Is it gala or gaya? No, this is gala days. This feels like time to enjoy life and be a little more playful. This is interesting. I almost want to look this up. Let's see. Where is this deck? Here it is. Let me look this up for you because I'm not familiar with that particular card. Gala days. Let's see. Is this an easy find? This is from a deck, by the way, called The Pleasure Alchemy. I'll hold that up for you. All right. Gala days. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, this book doesn't have like a table of contents with all the cards. So I'd have to literally flip through it to get there. But I'm just going to go by what it says. And essentially 70. Let me be after page 70. And essentially, oh, I see here, the sixth spark. All right, let me see. It goes by numbers. Fifth, and let me go seventh. And let me go sit. Okay, here we go. See, a little persistence pays off. And it says a gala day is a day of celebration. Okay, that's what we thought. It's a day for enjoyment, relaxation, and sharing time with others. There may be special menus or fancy dress or funny themes or performances, but always expect lots of silliness and laughter. Part of what makes a gala day pleasurable is the planning that goes into it, dreaming and deciding and choosing what to celebrate. And it can be so satisfying to create menus and think of entertainment, send out invitations, or call up old acquaintances to share your plan. Even if your world feels small or quiet, there is still great pleasure to be had in dreaming and planning and creating your special day. A gala day can be enjoyed just as happily alone or with loving pets or plants. Remember the imaginary tea parties of your childhood? Let this day of celebration bring delight and pleasure. All right. So there's your homework, pile number 3. Okay? There's your homework from Spirit. Plan a special day. And that eases the tension. It gets some of that weight up off your back. You need an outlet. You need love and just fun. And it can even be, talk about Hangman, Neptune, imaginary. It could even be an imaginary tea party, right? It doesn't have to be a literal party, but it needs to be something that makes you feel good, a gala day. Here we have shifting the blame. Accept others for who they are. So some of this thought, in that Eight of Swords energy is whoever this influence is or whoever you may tend to sacrifice for, pile number 3. There's a part of you that might have a little built up resentment around it. Understandable. But get away from that, right? Except people are people. People are going to do what people are going to do, right? They are who they are. But you have an opportunity here to shift your feelings and your dynamic so that you can feel more cared for in that Black Madonna energy. And you get there by being playful. You have a chat that comes up. Exchange of information, disclose information, or inquire. I think this is also pointing to something that was in that Gala Days reading that I did for you, and that is socializing. It would really do you good to just talk, just get out, have that cup of coffee or a tea or a cocktail or dinner, Be around other people. And look, I just happened to look down and see, lo and behold, what your next card is. Embracing happiness. Oh my gosh. The life you desire begins with a single choice, choosing joy. As you let go of the belief that happiness is beyond your reach, you awaken to the truth. You were not born to suffer, but to experience love, beauty, and creativity. You got that? I'm going to hold that up a second in case you want to do a screenshot. It's time to really open up and embrace happiness. Embrace the potential for happiness. Embrace being looser and lighter and really shedding some of the weight that you've been carrying. Pile number 3. Okay? All right. And notice, interestingly, this happened in pile number 2 as well. Thank you, Spirit. The colors that came up in between these two decks. Notice you've got that purple, that amethyst color that came up there for your embracing happiness. And sure enough, to close your reading, your crystal that comes up is amethyst. So clearly a message from Spirit. Work with some amethyst. Work with your higher chakras. Work with clearing your head and clearing your mind. Going back to that 8 of Swords, right? And choosing happy. Choosing happy. And it may mean that you've got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. The deception, some of you, again, that deception is self-deception, where you may feel like you're doing the honorable thing, to take on more, to say yes when you really want to say no, to dig in deeper and work harder, when really what you want to do is take some time off and play, right? Gala days. So that's what this new moon in Cancer brings for you. Okay? All right, you all. I hope that was helpful. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you. And good luck with everything. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.